Well, what do you get when a shy Midwestern man feels more like himself when pretending to be a cocky Londoner? Well, you get Harry Clarke, the story of a man leading an outrageous double life. The play opens tomorrow night at the Warehouse Theater in downtown Greenville. And joining me now is Harry Clarke himself, Thomas Azar, and Warehouse Theater Artistic Director Mike Sablone. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
And we actually have the entire cast in
all
studio.
Of us are here.
Because this is a one-man show.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about Harry Clarke. What can we expect?
Sure. Okay. So the setup is that a man who was born in the Midwest, he grew up in Indiana, discovers at an early age that he could be himself if he had an English accent. And so from there, he's trying to find who he is, what that means. And out of that comes yet another alter ego, who's the titular Harry Clarke. It's kind of like cocky Londoner, like you said.
Yeah.
And it just leads him on this kind of, I don't know, like slightly mysterious, slightly, you don't really know where it's going kind of story of him working his way into this family, this rich family, and kind of seducing them one by one. And it's kind of wild. And I end up playing, I think it's 18 characters.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that
in
sounds
the course of
exhausting.
80 minutes.
It doesn't look exhausting when he's doing it. It looks effortless, which speaks to his
acting abilities there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. I think it's easy to persuade, fall in love with anyone who has an English accent. At least that's my experience.
That's funny because that's actually one of the lines in the show. One of the characters says that very thing.
Well, I am very intrigued. What about this show kind of made you want to bring it to Warehouse, Mike?
The Warehouse doubles down on theatrical experiences you can only see at the Warehouse. And I wanted to do a solo show that would really highlight the spectacular talent we have in the Upstate. And when I read this play, I was so surprised at every page, not knowing where the story was going to go. And there was only one person I thought that could play all 37,000 characters, and that was Thomas Azar. And so it really gives you a truly unique theatrical experience you can't get anywhere else in the Upstate.
The first time that I went to your website and saw this show, I was like, oh, they haven't finished casting, because there was only Thomas's name. And then I learned, and I was like, that is very impressive. So how do you even prepare to be the only one up there?
Oh, wow. The first thing that I do as an actor, I learn the lines.
That's a good
I
place
feel
to
like
start.
that's my first obligation is to the script and to the text. And for years, the way I've learned lines is I record them, play them back, listen to it, and engage in a dialogue with myself. And I started doing that with this show, and stopped talking the first time that one of the other characters started speaking. And I just started listening, and then I realized, oh my gosh, that's my line too.
Right.
I can't do that with this show. For the first time in like nearly 20 years, I can't do that this way. And I just sit down with the script and I talk it out to my dog, who now knows the entire show. He's the understudy.
A guest of honor and the understudy, should anything go wrong.
There we go. I'm glad that you guys already have the backup plan
Yeah,
thought
the
out.
backup plan. Yeah.
I know that I love going to Warehouse Theater because it's such an intimate venue. You talked about you can also kind of find shows you wouldn't see anywhere else. But for those who have maybe never been, Mike, what can they expect from a Warehouse production?
Super high quality production value and also really incredible scripts. That's the thing that starts first, is sort of scripts, acting, and directing. And when you get into the Warehouse, for this show, it's in a thrust configuration, so the audience is on all three sides. So the story sort of happens throughout the entire space.
Oh.
So when you show up to the theater, you're always getting a unique experience, both in terms of content and how the content is presented, which is really amazing because you never know what you're going to get when you open those doors and see, like, which way am I sitting? Which way is the actor? Which way? Oh no, Thomas is everywhere. Not oh no, oh yay, Thomas is everywhere.
Thomas is everywhere. That's the way I look at it. Well, we do want to leave it a surprise how Thomas kind of becomes all 18 characters.
18. I think that's how many I counted.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. There might be some more sneaking
I feel like
in there.
that's your motivation to go to the show. You have to come see it to see how he does it.
Yourself.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. Again, this is Harry Clarke. You can catch it at the Warehouse Theater starting tomorrow night. It goes until May 13th. Tickets start at just $35. Of course, for more information, you can head to foxcarolina.com.
Now